In the meadow, which is directly in front of me here, at Auschwitz Birkenau, was a place where in 1942 the bodies of those people who had been murdered in the gas chambers in the Red House and the White House were buried. The Red House alone, we're looking at around 100,000 people were actually murdered there in 1942. The problem at Auschwitz was that there's very high water level, and it was found that the idea of burying people was not very satisfactory. They couldn't bury them very deep, and the next problem was they were running out of space, particularly in view of the amount of people they were expecting to have to murder in 43-44. In September 1942, Kommandant Hoess went to Chełmno death camp to have a look at what they were doing there, and he saw that the way that they were destroying corpses there, it was very efficient, but all the same he decided he didn't like it, and shortly after a decision was made to build the gas chambers with the crematorium attached to it, which is directly in front of where I'm standing now, numbers 4 and 5, and numbers 2 and 3, which are roughly directly in front of me now. Nonetheless, the idea of burning bodies in open air hollows in the ground, pits or burning on pyres, was used in the summer of 1944 near the gas chamber number 5, when it happened that the gas chambers could not cope with the amount of people who were being brought in to be murdered and then the bodies to be destroyed. Furthermore, those that had already been buried from the murders which had taken place in 1942 were disinterred, and their bodies were then burnt. The same thing was done with people who were murdered from 1939 onwards. Bodies were burnt from 1943, 44 and 45.